Welcome to Zombie Life with me, Dead Ned. On today's episode, I'll be taking a look at a retro classic of Italian horror cinema, Zombie Flesh Eaters. Remember, if you enjoy this channel, please hit the subscribe button. That would make a miserable zombie very happy. So, I'm going to start by having a quick look back at this movie, and then have a go at recreating one of the classic movie kills from the film, without trying to hurt myself too much. Zombie Flesh Eaters was released in 1979 and directed by Lucio Fulci, who along with the likes of Dario Argento and Mario Bava was notorious for his contribution to Italian horror, with his mix of crazy plot lines, nightmarish visuals, and of course plenty of excessive gore, which he would love to crash zoom in on, especially if eyeballs were involved. Fulci's other films were just as brutal as Zombie Flesh Eaters, and there's plenty to choose from. House by the Cemetery, City of the Living Dead, and what some regard as his masterpiece, The Beyond. His films would use a mix of American and non-English speaking Italian actors, which is why there's a fair amount of dubious voice dubbing. Il film said your mother, anche zombie too, il è sola di amate vivente. The film begins with a boat drifting into New York Harbor and appears to be abandoned. It's promptly investigated by a couple of patrolmen, and one of them is promptly killed with the first zombie attack of the film. The dead patrolman is taken to a morgue, where we discover it might not be too long before he's back on his feet again. The daughter of the man the boat belonged to, Anne, tells the slightly intense police her father was doing some research on a Caribbean island and returns to the boat at night to do some investigating of her own. It's here she bumps into newspaper journalist Peter, who, within 2 minutes of meeting Anne, tries to get his leg over and whisks her away to the Caribbean island her father is supposed to be on. Horny bastard. When they reach the Caribbean, they hire a boat owned by couple Brian and Susan to take them to the island. Meanwhile, on the island, we meet Dr. David Murnau and his hot wife Paola. I mean, this guy is seriously punched above his weight. The doctor has been researching the phenomenon of zombie reanimation. Paola actually wants to leave the island ASAP because of all the creepy shit going on, but the doctor insists they stay and leaves her at their island house to see what's happening down at the hospital. Turns out more people are dying, and at least the doctor is smart enough to shoot them in the head before they can turn. Ah, what a f***ing sport. Back at the house, Paola is attacked by a zombie. She tries to push the door shut on the zombie, but it breaks through and grabs her head and gives us one of the most notorious zombie kills in movie history. I mean, look at this. I'll be recreating this famous kill for your pleasure later. On the boat, Susan decides to dive naked and is pestered by a horny shark. But don't worry, a zombie appears and starts to chow down on the shark. I mean, that's sushi at its freshest, right? Ha! That's what I love about this film. Batshit sequences like that. Ha ha! The boat finally rocks up on the island, and they're greeted by the doctor, who asks them if they could go and check on his wife while he watches more of the patients die. Sure, they say, and off they go to the house, only to find a bunch of zombies chowing down on Paola's corpse. The group jump in a jeep, try to head back to the hospital, but have themselves a little accident where Peter manages to mangle up his ankle. Now they have to walk through the jungle, and after coming across an old Spanish conquistador graveyard, they're attacked by what appears to be an ancient zombie rising from the ground. Susan quite literally stands still with a look of horror and allows the zombie to bite her throat out. Oh, well played, Susan. I mean, it's not often we zombies get an easy kill. The survivors finally make it to the hospital, and more corpses are reanimating. The doctor thinks it's a result of a voodoo curse! The zombies keep attacking, and despite using homemade Molotovs and shooting them with guns, one by one the remaining survivors are killed off. Peter, Anne and Brian escape the building, but then Brian has a tender and heartfelt reunion with zombie Susan. Actually, she attacks him, taking a good chunk out of his arm. They do make it back to the boat and decide this is probably not the best island to spend a vacation on. Brian dies from the zombie infection, and Peter thinks it's a good idea to lock him away until they reach civilization. Maybe someone can help him. Ha! Fat chance. They turn on the radio to listen to the New York News broadcast and learn that the city has been overrun by zombies, and that's where this happy tale ends. Upon its initial release, the film was met with a certain amount of outrage due to its violent and graphic content. In the UK, several minutes of footage deemed too shocking were removed for its cinema release so it could earn an X rating. I missed that rating. I mean, to me, an X-rated film was kind of like a seal of horror approval. When it was released on video in the early 80s, it was eventually slapped with a video nasty tag and banned. To me, another seal of approval. In more recent years, of course, you can purchase the uncut version on DVD or Blu-ray. Now, does this film deserve its cult status? Absolutely. It's got that wonderful late 70s, early 80s low-budget vibe, but they put every penny up on the screen with some brilliant effects work. I mean, I love that there's lots of different looking zombies, with the fresher ones who recently died, to the really old rotten ones from the Spanish graveyard. Again, Worm-eyed Zombie who kills Susan to me is just an iconic zombie image. I salute you, sir. Actor-wise, there's Tisa Farrow, Mia Farrow's sister, the one who didn't marry Woody Allen, as far as I know. She's actually okay in the film, although she does seem to spend a lot of time staring into the distance. Maybe she's looking for something. British actor Ian McCulloch plays Peter, who provides a solid performance but does seem to lose more of his hair as the film goes on. Maybe the production ran out of hairspray. Time now to recreate that classic zombie kill. I've got my mate Dave the Zombie to help out. Hi Dave. Thanks Dave. Right, here we go. Be gentle, Dave. Ow, ow, ow. Kinda regretting this now. Ow. Ooh, that stings. Ow. Ow, for the love of... Oh, shit, that hurts. Oh, the things I do for my fans. Or one of them. Thank you for watching, and remember, if you haven't seen Zombie Flesh Eaters, remember to check it out. It's a classic. Until next time, stay warm and stay tasty. Oh, Dave, I need some aspirin. Oh.